All right. We are live and we're in Tampa today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Christian Clay. The guests that I bring onto the show, like Mr. Corey here, they're real estate agents that are on my team and they're experts in their field. And that's how we're able to give you these comprehensive breakdowns. But more importantly, along the way, you're just going to get stories, tips, tricks, hacks, because there's so many moving parts when it comes to not just moving to Florida, but buying homes, buying new homes. Yeah. Wouldn't you say, Corey?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, but we're in Tampa. We're actually in a suburb of Tampa, but let's just call it Tampa today. And we have on the Wesley Chapel King himself, aka the Tampa King himself, Mr. Corey Hamilton. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Just another beautiful day in Tampa Bay. You know how we do.
Yeah, man. So this one's cool because it's going to fit a need that I think a lot of people want, right? Everybody moves to
Correct.
an area, whether it's Orlando or Tampa, and they're just like, I want to be near things. I want to be near things, right? And for the most part, when it comes to new construction and all the great incentives that they're giving out, you're probably going to be further out than most people would like, right? Unless you're like in a Wesley Chapel where you have things going on. But most people are just like, I want to be downtown. I want to, and this is actually going to check some of those boxes, yeah.
You couldn't have said it better. So this, like, we always show the Wesley Chapel areas, the suburbs that are a little bit further out from the city. This is new construction getting a little bit closer to the city. So what you're going to find with that is maybe a little bit higher price point on a townhome. But like you said, you're getting that convenience to the city because you're on that major artery of Dale Mabry Highway that's going to cut right down through the middle of Tampa, right next to Raymond James Stadium. Go Bucks! Right
Mm-hmm.
next to the airport, next to the International Plaza, probably the premier, if not the best shopping center in the whole Tampa Bay area. So the location to a lot of things in your daily life, a lot of fun things to do where you can Uber to a bunch of these places and stuff, it's the convenience is it's awesome. It really is.
Ubering, yeah, man. So I'm actually doing an episode on my other channel, and throughout the episode, you realize how good of public transportation downtown Tampa actually has, right? All of the amenities are really lining the water and the Riverwalk, and like they have like the trolley, and they have little shuttles and stuff like that, and it's really coming along, and you can really enjoy all of the amenities. So all you need to do is Uber, like you said, just Uber, and you're there, and you could have a total day. You probably will have 3 days of worth of things to do out there. So, but
I'm glad you brought that up
go
because I
for it.
was like saying it was draft week. The Bucks got a bunch of new players. I'm wearing a Bucks hat today. It's a good week for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but when you go to those games, it's gonna be a good time. And Ubering for everybody in the city is super important. So like having this location, there is a buyer that wants to be in this community. I kind of can understand which type of buyer wants to be here, how
Right.
it's gonna fit their lifestyle, their job, the location to their job. So this is another, like we said, it's a great community it's gonna fit a lot of needs for people.
I pulled this up while you were talking, right? 22 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes to downtown, to Water Street. That's kind of like south of downtown. Like you have to go through downtown to get there. So being
Hmm.
a little generous there. The amount of things that you can do downtown, I mean, you were naming them off. So I just want to really quickly thank you so much. Shout out to visittampabay.com. All right, check them out. But the amount of things that you can do downtown, right? The aquarium, Sparkman Wharf. You have a lot of museums down there. Like you would be shocked, and things along the water. The Lightning are in the playoffs. Yeah,
Oh, just got eliminated
they
last
just
night.
got a. Was it last night? Oh my God! I
It
was
was
like
last
looking for
night.
tickets. I was looking for tickets, and I'm like, man, they need to
That's
go
why you
ahead and
can't
win.
find them.
Oh goodness! But the amount of things that you can do downtown. I mean,
Of course.
in a league of its own. Some may say, downtown Miami is much better. I could concur to that in a sense that yeah, there's a lot of money down there. This is different. This is more family oriented, in my opinion.
Of course, and like you just said, there's pros and cons to like the downtown Miami area. The traffic is ridiculous. You're not going to be able to get to your event. It's going to take you an extra hour on those weekends or at night to get to these events. Tampa is just a little less traffic heavy than Miami, Orlando. And
Absolutely.
then if you're talking about coming from, let's say, the Northeast region, which we have a lot of people that are relocating from that area, there is way more things to do in Tampa than there are up there. Just even considering the climate, half the year there's these things you can't do outside. We have local markets every weekend. There's a hot air balloon convention on the Riverwalk this weekend that you just showed. That's they call Light Up the Sky. There's endless opportunities for adults, children, everybody to do in the Tampa area. So it's the opportunities and your lifestyle really does change when you relocate. And we were even talking to a new client today coming from Utah. The opportunities and the things that you can do in Tampa compared to somewhere in Utah. He's like, we have beautiful views. I was like, send
Beautiful
me a
views
picture.
in Utah. Yeah,
So,
beautiful
yeah,
views.
I said, please send me a picture of your backyard. I'd love to see that. However, they have a newborn, and they're like, their life is going to change when they come to Tampa because the museums,
Oh my
the
goodness.
aquariums,
Yeah.
there's every weekend there's something new to do and new attractions that are coming to the area because the population growth over here.
I was just talking about transportation. I love how they highlight this. If you go look at my other videos on our other channel, you'll notice a lot of people talk about public transportation in some of the other areas. In Tampa, I think they have it down packed. And some of these areas like Ybor now connecting to downtown with some of those projects, you're going to be pleasantly surprised that getting around is going to be a lot more easier if you just park your car and use the public transportation down there. You ever eaten at Eulalie?
Absolutely. Oh, Eulalie is my spot, man. That
Yeah.
is a great spot on the Riverwalk. It's the first spot on the Riverwalk, the Eulalie, and the other end of the Riverwalk is Columbia Restaurant, owned by the
Ooh.
same owner. He owns the first and the last restaurant. They are fantastic restaurants. It's like an experience to be there. And Eulalie, actually, he puts most of his artwork into that restaurant. So
Oh,
you'll
okay.
see Picasso's and Monet's in their statues. They also have in the top floor is the sports floor. So on one side it's Bucks and Lightning and Rays memorabilia. On the other side there's like Muhammad Ali boxing gloves and Babe Ruth's baseball bat. Ton of things to see that are just historical within the Eulalie restaurant.
All right, our next client that closes in Tampa, Eulalie
Mm-hmm.
on me. I got you. I love that place. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And yeah, of course you're invited here, Corey. All right, so really quickly,
I'll be there.
hit us with this community, right? Let's dive back into this community. Let's
Yeah,
just run
yeah.
through the specs of it, what they're going to be seeing so we can kind of press forward.
This is just a small community, so we can break it down really quickly for you. It's
Yep.
48 home sites in the Carrollwood community of Tampa, which is probably the closest suburb north of Tampa. Wesley Chapel's a little more northeast. This is, like I said, on a major artery that cuts right into Tampa. What's great about this community is that Carrollwood is kind of known for being quiet, quaint, and tucked away from the hustle and bustle. So once you get off of Dale Mabry and you take a left or a right to go on either road to where the homes are, there are just these like beautiful communities that are quiet, quaint, like this one, like you said, only 48 home sites. So right here, you're going to be paying for the location that you get into Tampa. Townhomes, like we said, it's a $372 HOA monthly, but that's going to include high-speed internet, cable, it's gated, all the grounds are taken care of for you, and then reserves for your paint and your roof. So that's why I kind of envision this being for like a young first-time buyer,
Yeah.
families with maybe just one or two children, because you do get 2 or 3 bedrooms in this community. But I have a lot of people that right now they're like, hey, we're renting, we're just waiting for interest rates to come down. Your interest rate and your rent is going to remain 100%.
Yeah.
For as long as you want to stay there. So you're not really doing yourself a service by waiting. You're just paying more money out of pocket that you're never going to see again. When you
Yep.
get into a home, you're paying a little bit of a 6%, 7%. This builder right here in this community, they're not going to do as great as an incentive as we normally see in the Wesley Chapel Lutz area, because the demand is much higher.
Right.
So they're giving you.
They have a line of people waiting, right? If I can give you all a visual, right? There's one home with a line of people waiting. Therefore, they don't need to throw the kitchen sink at you, right? That makes sense.
Yes, it does. So they're gonna be giving you $15,000 toward your closing costs. That can be in.
That's still freaking phenomenal. You don't see that on
It's
the resale side unless we negotiate that. So good.
and you know what? We can negotiate that, but like we said, it's a little. We're just gonna be honest with you. It's a little more difficult with a high demand community as this one is. They have a building that's getting ready to be released. There's not a reservation list. However, when they do release it, they let us know, and then we put in our highest and best offer on this one. So there's a purchase price, and we just offer what we think is, the best offer we can provide to them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they decide between who your lender is, how much you're putting down. There's a bunch of different factors that can go into the decision they make on who they're going to allow to purchase that home. But that's something that you have to contact us, and we can make that offer as strong as possible.
I would say this before we move forward, and we're going to take a home tour, people, so relax, right? But highest and best offer is not always about price point. And I think that most people would see that as price point. Let's just play with the number 400,000. Most people would think that highest and best would be, let's go 410, let's go 415. I tell you what, I can take 415. I could take half of that extra 15,000 and put it into other areas and make the contract a lot stronger than somebody that offered 415, right? So there's a million ways to do that, and I think that that's where our experience comes into play, because at the end of the day, these builders want to sell the home hassle-free, without any stress, without people feeling like they're going to fall through. So there's a million ways that we can make that look strong to those builders.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, someone that gets us home, it's not going to be on the highest offer. It will be on the best offer, and what they're going to put down, how quickly they can close, if they're already pre-approved, if they're willing to work with the preferred lender. There's a bunch of different scenarios, and someone that's working with a professional, they'll make sure that they can get that deal done.
Good. All right. Anything else about this community before we hop into a few home tours?
No, let's hop into the home tours. It's going to be we're talking, this is also great school districts within Tampa, a bunch of different good public schools. Carroll Day Elementary, K through 8, is right around the corner from here. That is probably the most renowned, best public school in the area.
Public
they really
school,
pride
by the way.
No, Carroll Day is not. Carroll Day is a private school.
Private school, okay.
But yes. There's a bunch of, it's Eskrid Elementary, Ben Hill Middle, Gaither High School. But Carroll Day School is a private school, but they're really rigorous on their academic curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be an easy school. It's not at all. But it is, like I said, it's probably one of the best schools in all of Tampa Bay, greater Tampa Bay area. They really focus on, like I said, the curriculum, but also like child character, their community involvement, the extracurricular programs outside the school. They surpass anything you'll see in Tampa. It's actually outstanding what they can do at this school. But if you are interested in private schools, Carroll Day is one of, you can do your own research. You can reach out to us to help you with some links for the research, but Carroll Day is going to be top of the line school for your children to go to. That's just right around the corner from you.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Before we get into these home tours, I do want to say in the link down below in the description, I have a home value estimator that is way better than Zillow. And the reason why I made this, I was motivated to make this, is because I had a client that wanted to sell their home, and she said, Zillow told me that our home value was here. Should we list here? And we ended up selling for this. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to put together my own home value estimator. It's super easy to use. Put your address in a way that you can receive your report. Click it, try it out in the description down below. All right, let's get to it here. All right, what are we looking at?
Okay, so it looks like we're going to start with the Sycamore floor plan. So they do have three floor plans: a Sycamore, Evergreen, Ash.
Cool.
The Sycamore and the Evergreen are going to be their interior units. So they're going to have a 1-car garage. This one's going to be around 1,700 square feet, a little over 1,700.
Hey, man, hold on. You look sharp.
Do?
What's that, Da Vinci?
Oh.
What you got on there, man? This man has on some sort of
Da Vinci, bro.
Or, what's another one? Christian Dior?
Something like that, man.
Yeah.
No, I call that Ross. Or
the Ross special?
Made by Macy's or something. Like, yeah, we ain't there yet, buddy. But No, it's like you said. We got it. When you're showing homes in Florida, if you're wearing a suit, you're just lying.
You
There's
are
no one wearing a suit.
lying, brother. Hey, listen, if your agent is wearing a suit, run to us. Like,
If he's in
we'll
a
at least
suit
give
in
him a shirt.
July,
We'll at least give him a shirt.
or like some deodorant or something, because
Right.
he's gonna be having maybe a towel to wipe his body off. But yeah, he's gonna be having a rough day
Hey,
wearing a
most,
suit here. So
the stereotypical agent, right? Realtors like pulling up in some sort of two-seater, right? Red or suit on, red car, slick back. We don't even have hair, right? Slick back hair. Run.
you want people that are gonna give you the honest truth, really. Yeah, this is what it is right here. This is Florida living. And honestly, that's what we actually do for our clients. We are the most honest people we can. They might love everything about something, and we might just be like, hey,
This is how we
this
feel
is
about it,
something,
or look out for this.
or just, yeah, what do you feel about this, though? Oh, we didn't think about that. Okay, I just wanted to provide it to you because, it might affect you coming
Yeah.
forward in the future. So we try to be as honest as we possibly can, and with our community breakdowns, with the builder, with the areas, with the school districts, and we're not going to hold back at all from that.
I like
That's
to
how
think
we are.
of, how we operate as parents that are kind of like I have a 1-year-old now. She's going to be 2 in about a month and a half, and she runs on the couch. She just loves to run on the couch. And I don't want to spoil her fun, right? Like, I think that home shopping is fun. It's fun, and I don't want to spoil that at all. But I'm just there in case she falls over to catch her, and she has no idea she was going to fall, and then I put her butt back, and then she starts running again, right? So with a lot of the things that we, give tips on to our clients, or, just let them know, like, hey, look out for this or watch that. It's not us spoiling your fun, but it's just being those guardrails for you to make sure that, you don't get in trouble. I mean, the last thing I'd want, every now and then we'll have somebody reach out to us that's already under contract. And they're like, I'm under contract. I wish I should have reached out to you guys further, but what should I do here? And we just simply can't do anything with that. I don't want that to be you guys. So we try to give you as much that we could up front. And maybe you can take it and use it on your own, or, obviously you can reach out to us with the info right above. So.
Did you just come up with that analogy on the spot? That was really good.
No, I mean, it's I could probably do another one like that, but it's the way I feel about my child. It really, really is. Like, she's running, and I don't want to tell her to stop. I'm like, just do it. And then if you fall, but the only thing is when she falls, I catch her, and she has no idea she was going to get hurt. And I just put her back, and I'm like, okay, she can still enjoy herself,
You really couldn't have said it better. Like,
Yeah.
I think people, when they go into this new construction process or purchasing, relocating, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And like we've said before, the builder always, they back themselves. They make sure that they're protected in this situation. So they might hit you with something that you weren't ready for, change in the price point, change in the time frame, change in your lending situation, and you need to have that support and that professional representation to let them know that we're going to be here to stand by your side and make sure that we push to get you everything that you deserve and everything that you signed up for when you walked in the front door.
That was definitely spot on, right? And builders want one thing. They want you to love the home that they built, and they want you to buy. I guess that's two things. Let's put that into one. Builders want one thing. They want you to love and buy their home. Builders are scared of one thing: you not buying the home. Notice I said
leaving. Yep.
Yeah, notice I said that they're not scared of you not loving the home. They want you to love and buy the home, but they're scared of you not buying the home. Therefore, they position themselves to win. They position themselves, and it's not a bad thing. At the end of the day, I want you to love and buy the home, whichever one it is, right? But their fear is that, well, even if they get into the home, what if they get cold feet? What if they get, what if there's a real reason that you have to go back to West Palm Beach or to New York because of family matter, or whatever the case may be? They're scared of that. Therefore, the contracts are really designed to back the builder up. And what we do is we act like those guardrails to make sure, like, hey, before this happens, let's read through these terms. Let's look at this, right? Another way or another thing that comes to mind is, how they make things sound, right? Something that could really scare you, the buyer, would be going to a home inspection and seeing something that you don't like. And it could just be something as simple as an outlet popped out, right? And we're just like, hey, that's a small thing, but it can really make you like kind of nervous. Therefore, the builder really doesn't tell you about the home inspection, right? They call it a new home orientation. They make it sound grand. Let's walk through and learn the functions of the home. What you don't know is you have the ability to hire somebody from the outside to come in and say, hey, I know you don't work for this builder. I want you to inspect this home. The builder doesn't tell you that. It's built into your contract, right? There's a small window of opportunity for you to say, hey, here's my home inspector. Here's the license number. When you work with us, that just comes standard. Now, it is something that you do have to pay for, the home inspector, right? But we want to make sure, like, hey, your window's coming up. Do you want to get a home inspection done?
That was well said. And there is a difference also between a 4-point inspection and a whole entire home inspection. A 4-point inspection, they're going to look at the roof, plumbing and electrical, just the simple things that go into the home.
Just the insurable things, right?
But let's say there was termite damage over here. They're not even qualified to say anything about that in the 4-point inspection. They can walk right by it, or if they see a hole in the wall, or this isn't working, or that. A 4-point inspection is very different from a full home inspection. So that's something else we can probably get into in a later video, but we want to make sure that, like you said, with the new home construction process, they will do the inspection, but they do it on their end, and they tell you, hey, it's A-okay. When did we ever have the opportunity to, write off that was cool or that was okay? So that's something that we love we always make sure our clients, even in new construction, would you like to get a new home inspection? It's
Everybody
not necessary.
Do it with me. Ask me the question. Ask them the question again.
Do you want to get an inspection on your new home?
Yes. Now, you don't have
Builders make mistakes.
And I love this builder.
Makes mistakes.
I love this builder. By the way, go ahead.
We're going to get into that part too, the warranty and stuff. But yes, this is a builder we do work with, and they are a solid builder. Exterior, interior, they look out for you. How many times have we had their construction manager say, there is a warranty process that you can go to on the website, put in your address, tell them what's wrong, send in a picture, and then they'll kind of get back to you. And a lot of times the construction manager is like, here's my phone number. You moved in, we're building down the street. If you have an issue, just call me or text me and I'll be right there. Yep. Like this builder really takes care of their clients once they move in the home. And that doesn't even have to go through the warranty process a lot of time. And that's what we always look for. We're like, they build nationally. So, you see
my brother just closed on a Pulte home in Texas. Right? That's how much we like Pulte, right? Like, I sell so much new construction. He's asking me about these buildings. I'm like, Pulte's a good one, and they do different levels of builds, right? Like, these are townhomes.
Yep.
They can build a nice luxury community, right? Like they have.
And they will be building in Wesley Chapel. They have a new community called Vita's Way that's coming into Wesley Chapel. It's going to be like 3,000 acres, 3,000, 4,000 homes of just kind of rural community. They're kind of keeping it like the way it was. It's all cow pasture right now.
I like that.
They're building around that and making it kind of that same charming feel, but they're going to do their high-end product with many different floor plans in that community. So we definitely back this builder, but we will also, like we said, if we have to go to bat with them and make sure that everything's done correctly or make sure that your house is in order the way that they promised, we will do that for you.
And I promise you this, we're not, even if you love this builder, we're going to show you some comparables with some other builders as well, right? Just to show you your options. But yeah, I mean, we've had good results with them for sure.
Yes, right. But like this community itself, we're going closer to the city. Like you said, it's going to be a little bit higher price point. We didn't even talk about the first one. We'll get it to the end. Yeah. But you're paying for a great location. You're paying for the Dale Mabry Highway is littered with everything you need in your daily life. Home Depot, banks, shopping, restaurants,
even the Raymond James Stadium.
Raymond James Stadium, boy. I'll be there all summer long.
Who's the Bucs quarterback this year? Oh yeah, Baker. He's coming back. He did good.
Baker Mayfield. He did good. He got re-signed. So we're gonna be good this year. We're gonna win the South and get into the playoffs.
Ooh.
Take our shot.
Now we're seeing some, because the last home, what did we see? We saw the 18 by 18, right? Like we saw.
I don't even. We talked about it. Yeah, we said 3. Yeah. So I think that's great that we did see. This is the standard package. They do have 4 different packages in here. So this is kind of the standard, what you would most likely get. Their end units, which are going to be a little bit bigger square footage, they're going to put in probably more of the premier packages. And that's one that you're going to see here with the LVP floors, the higher counters or higher cabinets with the crown molding.
All right, let's do it. And so the end units, you will have that side entrance, so to speak.
Correct.
Entryways
Correct.
to
Yeah.
the side.
It's a 2-car garage. This one's called the Ash. It's 1,851 square feet. So you do get a little bit more living area in here. It does have a covered lanai, which is really nice. Also, you
Really?
can screw. Yeah, you get the covered lanai in here. The last one we didn't in the interior unit, but this one you will get a covered lanai,
Nice.
and all the appliances are included too. So you give you top end, well-known appliances. I think they're all Whirlpool in this one. Washer and dryer included as well. A nice appointed half bathroom off
Nice.
of the living area,
Yeah.
not directly in your living area,
Yeah.
which I don't know. That just maybe it's a pet peeve for me, but I don't like when the half bathroom is right on my kitchen or
We
right
don't
on
want
my
to know
living room.
why. We don't want to know why.
We'll just leave it at that. Just like
Just
when it's
know I don't like
kind
my
of
bathrooms
designated.
there.
Yeah, I like them just designated to the side for all my guests too. For them, I like for my guests to be comfortable as well. You do get the Harry Potter closet that goes all the way underneath. This
Man.
great storage space in a townhome, which you often, you don't get a ton of storage in a townhome.
It's either that
But
or your garage, right? And if you're getting a 2-car garage, like don't fill it up with like a bunch of things. Utilize it. You could maybe make it a
of
gym. Like
course,
we're turning our garage into a gym right now. So
Of course. And even one of the new clients that we spoke with today was asking about moving to the Wesley Chapel area to Tampa from Utah and talking about townhomes as well. Townhome is a great entryway to move to the city, to move to Tampa if you're coming from out of state, because then you're getting, a lower priced home. You're still getting a good amount of square footage, 2 floors, home ownership instead of renting. And then as you go, you can always find, as you're driving around the city, you'll find an area you love. You'll find something, a community you'll drive by that you love. And these homes are easily able to sell in a few years and gain a lot of
they'll
equity,
always sell.
and they will always rent too. That's, I think,
Absolutely.
a huge part. So if you don't have, maybe something you never even considered, having a home portfolio. This could be your first one in your home portfolio because it's going to be easy to rent. There's no outside maintenance. You don't have to worry about getting someone out there to cut the grass, paint the house, do the roof, any of that. They also pressure wash in this community your driveways. So it's like not only will your driveway be nice, you don't have to look across the street at someone that's got an oil spill, and then it doesn't look good when you're coming in the community. So this is like a perfect opportunity to get into the city, to have a lower monthly payment because you're not buying a single family home, do very low maintenance on your home, and then, like you said, put the first one in your portfolio because townhomes
Absolutely.
are super easy to rent.
Way better than a single family. Way better than, and you were talking about the HOA earlier, $372, right? Most people are probably throwing
Yep.
bananas at the screen right now. But to maintain your lawn in Florida, it's going to cost you 150, $200, right?
A
Cable
month.
and internet a month. Cable and
And how
internet.
much?
I hope it's
150, $200 a month.
I was gonna say if you got $100 cable and internet here, like show me where it's at. Show me where it's at.
Nope. Nope.
So
Your
you're
internet's
paying for it
$100. Your
already
cable's $100.
on
Yep.
top of the roof, the exterior paint, like you were saying. So, I mean, it makes sense. There's so many pros to buying a townhome that a lot of people just don't consider. Now, if you have a huge family and you need yard space and you want to, you have a dog to run around, it may not make sense to you. But for others, open your mind up a little bit.
Yep. And we have a client coming in town this week from New York, and they're considering multiple communities from the same builder. One thing they don't like is the fees in one of the lagoons, but I had to kind of tell them, like, let's break it down. You're paying for the lagoon fee. How often are you going to use it? If you're using it often, you're saving a lot of money because it's going to cost you X amount to go
Sure.
individually as a public member to
It's like buying a
go
golf
to a lagoon.
membership. I can go
It
buy a
is.
golf membership and it could be a lot of money if I use it every freaking week.
If
Or
you
I could just
use
kind of
it,
pick and part and just not use it and not spend that money.
exactly. But then when you consider, and I asked him, I was like, how much do you pay in cable and internet? Because I was like, it's at least $100 each. He's like, I pay way more than that right now in New York. I'm like, all right, so cut that off your bills. So it's like, we don't want to go above this mortgage, but if you consider not having to pay these fees, maybe it's something that we can, once we like to get, like you said, the whole number breakdown, the whole value add that you're going to have moving into this home, and the equity moving forward by the growth of the community, the jobs coming to the area. And that can usually make a lot more sense for people because I just know in a personal situation, like his wife himself, she loves all the pretty things and he loves all the numbers. So that's usually how it is. One person likes, I love this, but what about the numbers? So it's like if you got to put them together for everyone so they can make, honestly, we just do what's best for our clients. It
Yep.
has nothing and like we said, we need to check every box.
Yep.
Your home, your community, your lifestyle, and your mortgage, all of that needs to come together to make sure that the numbers come work for you, your job, your lifestyle, and what you're willing to spend.
100%. Well said. All right. So we have a comment from a subscriber who's watched one of our previous videos. So this is somebody that commented on our video who is subscribed, by the way. It's actually WDW1971. What exactly is the water warranty that was mentioned? She had a follow-up question. Also, why do some communities have CDDs and others don't? I'll let you start with the first question, the water warranty, which fits perfect, right? This is the builder we were talking about.
So not every builder does have that water intrusion warranty. This builder has it in pretty much every community that we've been doing work in. Just to give you a quick breakdown of their 1, 2, 5, 10. 1 year is going to be the materials and the craftsmanship of the home. That's going to be like if your cabinet gets loose, the faucet's not on right, if the paint is, comes off in an area, the little crack or something, they'll come
Little
in and
corner
fix that
cracks
for
and
a
stuff.
year. Yeah, of course, which does happen in a new construction home after it settles, because every home takes a little bit of time to settle. 2 years is going to be your plumbing, your HVAC, AC system, the electrical, and kind of like your mechanical systems of the home. They're going to warrant that for up to 2 years. The 10-year is going to cover all the structural and foundation of the home. The builder will cover that. And we even have a client right now in Nashville that she had some flooring issues that was going on throughout the entire community. And the builder had to come in and fix the floors in her kitchen before she could sell her home and move here. So her structural 10-year warranty came into play. Instead of her having to fix that issue, the builder came out and fixed it because she had an inspector come and let him know this is the issue. It's the builder's fault.
Yep.
The builder covers that. So the 5-year water intrusion warranty guarantees that your property will remain free from water leaks or any seepage for the specified amount of time. This one is going to be 5 years.
Yeah.
If it does arise, the builder, they'll pay the cost to rectify the problem. Pretty much it offers the buyer peace of mind, and it kind of ensures the builder's accountability and quality of their construction.
They don't want to use the warranty, right? They're not saying it because,
right,
hey, in 3 years, we're going to have to come out. No, they don't want to, but
yes,
they're letting you know, like, hey, we're confident. We're confident in this.
We're confident. And what is water intrusion? Water is the most powerful force on Earth. Yeah. You talk about Niagara Falls, millions of gallons of water, erode and push it back every year. The Grand Canyon, the Colorado River dug that a mile deep. So in Florida, unfortunately, we deal with hurricane season, which comes into the fall. When you get 100-mile-an-hour plus winds and tons of rain, it can push into your house, into the windowsills, into a roof if it wasn't constructed correctly, into the garage if it's not maintained, because the garage is not considered a living space, so it needs to be sealed correctly.
Yeah.
Even though the builder doesn't always back that because it's not a living space, they can leave it unsealed when they sell you the home. But water intrusion is something you will see in Florida, something that we like to harp on too. That's a great selling point for the Wesley Chapel, the north suburb areas of Tampa, is that you're away from
the coast.
The coast.
Yeah.
So the most important part about hurricanes is that storm surge, that when the sea levels rise, you don't have to worry about that when you're in a community that's a little bit further out from the coast. And also you don't have to pay that flood insurance as well when you're in a community like this. Huge. Or Wesley Chapel, Lando Lakes, Lutz.
Hey, listen, living in St. Pete is cool until you see that. And don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to retire in St. Pete, so I'm not saying don't go there, right? Don't go there until I find my dream home. But, the little things that pop up, like the flood insurance, like all of that stuff adds up.
Of course. And then when you also live in those areas, they're like, hey, it's a mandatory evacuation. You got to leave. Yeah, so, you got to find somewhere to go, stay in a hotel, go to a friend's house, fly out of town for the week if, there's a warning of a hurricane. But the water intrusion is definitely an important and I think just a great offer that they have to be like, we back our building so much that we know. Here's one in Wesley Chapel. I'll just answer this for ISIS right here. We were speaking earlier today. I've been here for 6 years and I've never had an issue. Every time there one comes through, I get all my water, all my batteries, and I'm prepared for the worst thing that ever happened. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm also like I was terrified of hurricanes when I first moved down here. It blows by. I look outside and there's not even water on the ground or nothing. Like it's just they just blow by a lot of times. The news is a lot of propaganda. They want you to see
That's when they
something
get their
bad
most
happening.
views. I tell you what, I don't
That's when they
watch
get the
I don't
most
watch
views.
the news, but when a hurricane
Don't
is
do
here, when a hurricane is here,
Everyone does.
everybody's watching like what's the turn making? What so you know, of course, they're gonna blow it out of proportion.
I feel like a meteorologist myself when I'm watching the news during the hurricane season. I'm like, oh, it's going west at 800. Like, I know exactly what's going on. But here's the thing. It's like I said, it's propaganda for people to watch around the country. They'll show the same building just getting washed over, like over and over again, just to get people to see that, like, you know, think. But like a lot of times, like I said, if you're inland, you just have to worry about your power going out.
Yep.
You know, because if the power lines go down, a lot of times the electrical companies will shut the power down to prevent further issues if they were to keep them on during a hurricane with the winds and the rain. So they might shut your. So just be prepared with food and water and batteries and stuff. And
I would say
it might be hot for a while in your house.
If you have a higher budget, you know, spend $1,000 on a generator. Spend $1,000 on a generator.
Always
if you could.
recommended.
Yeah, and it comes in clutch. It comes in clutch. I mean, when I was a younger man, we used to fight through it without generators. Nothing bad, but like you said, they'll turn the power off sometimes. The worst hurricane I've ever been through was Hurricane Charlie back in 2004, 2005. I mean, that thing was like a razor blade. It was a little tiny hurricane that just ran through the state. And but the power was the issue, right? Power went out for a few days. You want to have a generator, right? So if you could do that, do it. And I'd be interested in knowing. We should probably start showing and highlighting some of these homes that have those 30 amp breakers within the home that you could just plug right into the wall. But there's some little tricks to it. You can pull out your we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll show you guys some of that stuff. There's a bunch of little tricks to it.
Of course, but here's my major problem with the power going out is the AC.
Yeah.
When it's 95 degrees in the summer and humid as ever,
that's
and
when the hurricanes
AC
come
goes
too.
down. I do not. You will not sleep when it's 95 degrees. I promise you. It is
games.
So hot. Like it's ridiculous. But I'm glad you brought that up because it is something that we do recommend to our clients if you can and you are able to get a generator just to make. It's going to make your lifestyle a lot easier for those couple days that the hurricanes are coming through. But for the most part, when you're living in these suburbs that are out of Tampa, not near the bay, or like you said, St. Petersburg, you just have to worry about rain, wind, and the power going out. But when you get a home that, like with this, we were just talking about the water intrusion.
Yeah.
We know how you can approach the builder with the warranty and what they won't accept. Like, let's say if you bought a single family home and you wanted to put on solar panels, that will void your warranty because you're putting holes in a brand new roof. So if you get water intrusion, they'll say no. And for this particular builder, I have a 56-page booklet that can show you everything and walk you through every detail of every warranty, what will void it, what you need to do to maintain your home, such as your gutters. If you're not like cleaning out your gutters, they won't fix anything for you. So there's a lot of maintenance that goes into your home, along with just knowing the fine details of, if you do have an issue, are they going to come fix my electrical? Well, no, because you didn't maintain this. So we kind of comb through that warranty booklet to make sure that if you hear some major issues for you guys that you might never even thought of, that you have to maintain and keep your home up to par. Because if not, they're going to say no when you go to the warranty department.
We want them to say yes. We don't even want you at the warranty department, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Not at all.
If it
not
happens,
at all. But
we want them to say yes.
But that's what it's there for. It's there just in case.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of also them, like I said, they give you that warranty because they're pretty much supporting their structural process. They're supporting that, hey, we're going to do all this and we'll even fix it if it doesn't work, because they're knowing that you're going to have many issues with these new construction homes.
And to follow up with that question that she had, why do some communities have CDDs and others don't? CDDs come from the developer, right? And the developer is actually not the builder. The developer is the person that buys the land, puts the utilities into place, right? Goes to the county and gets it accepted for how many homes are in this one, this community here?
This is only 48 home sites.
So whoever bought this piece of land here had to go to the county and say, hey, I want to build 48 townhomes here. Sometimes they may say, hey, I want to build 58. And the county says, no, we're not going to do that. We want to keep ordinance, put the ponds over here. You have to have this many trees, whatever the case may be. The developer then takes on a huge cost to develop the land. And a lot of times they put in amenities, or this one has a gate. They don't have amenities. This one has a gate, right? But things like that, the developer takes on as one big bond. And then from that bond, they'll put that cost onto the people that are buying the home as a CDD. One way to look for how, why do some have CDDs and why do some not have CDDs? I would say for the most part, communities that don't have a lot of amenities, that are just kind of smaller HOAs because they don't have the pools, the sidewalks, etc., are going to have usually no CDDs. The ones that have the big amenities, right? The big pools, the dog parks, the extravagant
the lagoons.
Yeah, those are going to have the CDDs for the most part. But there is no real rule like, hey, if you don't have a pool, you can't charge a CDD. There's no rule. But that's just kind of a way that you could look at it.
And with that being said, too, we have to, some people come to us and they're like, we don't want CDD fees. But if we, kind of like we said, we break down the numbers in each community, what they're offering you, what your mortgage payment will be like with these HOA and CDDs, it might work out better for you to have one. Some communities have like this one is a $370 HOA. Then some communities have a $10 HOA and a $210 CDD fee. Mm-hmm. So you're still $150 less than the HOA in this community. So it's like, don't run away from CDD fees if you think that's something you want to just avoid altogether. Because a community might have an HOA and no CDD might be higher than a community that has both. So let us at least show you what they have, show you what the number breakdown looks like, and then maybe the interest rate that they're offering you can make it more affordable than a community that had neither of those fees.
Yep. I would say, for the most part, don't run from the fees. Don't run from the fees, right? Run from the things you don't want. If you don't want a pool, let's run from the pool. Like, don't go to the pool. If you need the pool, don't run from the fees. You're going to have the fees. How could we configure everything to make it work monthly and for your lifestyle? And for your lifestyle, right? You may end up living 15 miles out to save money. But then the gas prices that, the gas you're going to end up putting in your car to drive your kids here, or you going to work, these are all things that have to come into play. So something that we always run by our clients. We never tell people what to do, but we try to put everything together for them.
Of course. And like we said, this community could be for, I feel like maybe first-time home buyers, someone that needs to live closer to the city, that's relocating, and people that are
18
renting.
minutes to the airport.
People that are renting right now are paying $3,000 and $4,000 a month in rent to live close to the city like this. And when you can come in here and get an interest rate buy down and you're paying well below that and you have home ownership, you're saving thousands and thousands of dollars every year on top of building your equity. And we always say, marry the home and date the rate.
Marry the home.
If you find a home,
date the rate.
You can love your home. If you don't buy it, someone else is going to marry that home and you'll never see her again. But that interest rate, you can date her when another better one comes around, just get rid of your old one and let's get on to the new one.
I remember,
so if you find a home you love, just go with it.
I remember 4 years ago. I remember 3 years ago, right? COVID and all that stuff, right? And I was selling homes to people, and their parents would always come in with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we know where home prices were then, but I remember then prices in their mind were just out freaking. It was unbelievable to them as far as how high prices were, right? So I had somebody that was usually like around my age at the time, right? I was kind of selling to friends, families, coworkers, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the parent that came in, and the parent was like, "You are not going to buy this home. It's $200,000. Do you know what this is?" And looking back, the amount of equity that they've purchased. It wasn't really strategy. There wasn't really strategy to it. Find the home that you like and get into it. You think people are going to stop moving to Florida, even if we scratch through politics and stuff, right? People are always going to come to Florida. You got beaches, you got warm weather, and you got low taxes. It ain't going to stop, right? So there's always going to be demand. So be a little less nitpicky on timing and just, find what you like. Let's get into it. We're going to find you a deal. Heck, if we can get you $15,000 in closing costs, maybe even a little more, we'll probably negotiate something, with you. It's going to be helpful. You're going to beat people.
Of course, that's a good way to put it. If you can look at and do your own little market research on home prices in Florida over a 30, 40-year period, they're not coming down. People, I have a ton of family up in the Northeast. They're all wanting to move out of there. If you know that lifestyle, if you're living in the Northeast in these cold places, everybody there wants to be in Florida, see the beaches, see the sunshine, the palm trees. That's never going to stop.
Nope.
That's just kind of what it is in our country. We have many different geographic locations that are kind of driving people to this area. And like you said, with the no state income tax and different politics in different states, we have people calling us from California that are just like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. The prices are too high. I wanted to buy a new home. It's $1 million and it's 100 years old and it's only 1,500 square feet.
Yep.
So it's like, there's so many benefits to move this area that it's not going to slow down. This is just still the beginning of what Florida is going to become. It's going to be a booming state for decades to come here. And, buying in at the earliest time, like you said, there's no better time to buy than yesterday.
Get in.
Like
Get
you
in.
have to just get in the home ownership, because all you're going to see is benefits in that. And on top of the fact, like I said, if you're a renter, you don't know where your rent's going to go. You can get a 30-year fixed mortgage and know exactly where you're going to be for 30 years. It's kind of that peace of mind that you get with home ownership as opposed to renting. They come in, they hit you with $100 more next year, $150 more than next year. I'm someone that knows myself that I was renting at $400 and it went up to $2,000 at some point.
Whoa.
So like that's a
Did you mean to say 1,400?
1,400 I started at, and in
Okay.
a 4-year period, it increased almost 50%.
I think you said 400. I thought
no,
you did.
14.
14. Okay, and maybe I misheard
14.
that. I'm sorry.
I wish I could find rent at 400. I'd be living in that closet right there. So, yeah, but there's no better feeling of having home ownership, building equity in a home, and knowing that when you do want to move someday, the money that you paid into this home is like your house savings account. Mm-hmm. You're going to get that money back somehow. Mm-hmm. You're going to get it back in equity. You're going to get it back in the upgrades that you put into the home. Let's say you put in a backsplash and you spend X amount of dollars. You can get that value back when you sell the home. So it's like you can spend money and save it at the same time and enjoy it. Which
we encourage you to do so. Do your aftermarket stuff and get the home, looking a little different than some of the others. It could be tough when you're reselling a home in a community that has 1,000 homes of the same builder and you're trying to compete with them. So, the little aftermarket stuff does help, unless you're working with us on selling your home. And we help people, sell all the time and beat the builders. So.
That's it.
All right, we don't want to go too deep in this. We appreciate you all for stepping in and subscribing to our channel and obviously like keeping up to date with some of these community breakdowns. Today was more about kind of educating you guys, which they'll always be about that. And we had the home tour playing for you as well. So if you have any questions about this, you feel like we didn't talk enough about the home, you see that phone number and that email above, you just reach out to us. We'll get you all the information that we possibly can. Yeah.
Even if they're not ready today to buy or they're not in the market to buy, you can still reach out and ask the questions, and maybe that might help you in the right direction of getting there.
We have people reach out sometimes and just like, I like you guys' videos. I'm not ready. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's not what it's there for. You can use the comment section, but I just, yeah, that's fine. I get it, right? But reach out to us,
of course.
And we'd love to help you with that. But with that being said, we're gonna hop off. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss another video, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right.